So anyway, yeah. Harrison's birthday went off without a hitch.
Yep.
And
Big 2-4.
dinner went down. We had dinner and
That's not we had Tenderloin.
yep.
Yeah, that was a mad scramble. That was the night. That was the night that live in infamy.
Why?
Well, that was the night that we had the backup.
Oh. I mean, there was just
I
that
mean,
was the
lots
night.
and
No, that
lots
was
of
the night
things.
before that night.
No, it wasn't.
That was the night.
No.
Everything goes wrong. Oh,
Because pretty much everything was going wrong. That's probably a pretty accurate impression.
I'm like, I think there's water coming up in the drain in the basement.
Oh, there was no thinking. It was obvious.
And then I was like, I wonder if it comes when you flush the toilet from the upstairs. And then I flushed the toilet.
No. What happened was I went down to the utility room for some reason, and we had kind of backstory. We've had a wet spot on the carpet for very random. That doesn't seem to be connected to anything. It didn't seem to be connected to anything.
Right.
I had a plumber kind of come out and look at it, and he said you may have holes in the pipe such that when you have rain or snow melt, that it backs up. He said we could put a drain on there, a two-way valve. Basically, it lets things in, doesn't let things out. So I was down there. And it hadn't happened in a while. I was like, I have no idea. It didn't seem to be connected to the bathroom that's next to it or any of that stuff.
Right.
So anyway, I happened to be walking into the utility room that night and turned around and looked at the drain, and there was water pool. I was like, "Here, okay, we have a problem." My experience with rentals is that when that happens, it's a mainline problem.
Right.
So Emily said, "You were like, hey, let's go see if it happens. What happens when we should flush the toilet?" And sure enough, it would go down, and you flush the toilet, and it'd come back up.
Yeah.
So I'm like, gosh darn it. I mean, because everything was going wrong. I mean, I did multiple things, happen that day. And it was like 9 o'clock at night. And I said, got to call Roto-Rooter. Got to call them. I mean, because you can't use any of the plumbing upstairs.
No one's going to be able to use the plumbing at all.
Well, you couldn't. I'm not kidding. I mean, so you can't take
and
showers.
dogs living together.
You can't.
The
Yeah, but you
sky is
can't.
Falling. It's going to be horrible.
The-
Nothing could happen. No one touch a toilet or a sink until morning. It was bad. Very, very bad.
Okay. Yes,
And then
it
I
was
said,
bad.
let's
When you have
call
raw
Roto-Rooter.
sewage coming up in the basement, it's
And
bad.
then I said, let's call Roto-Rooter. I
No.
originally
Wait,
said,
I said no.
You said. So then I said, just wait till morning. It'll be fine. And that's when then the whole, when it happened. And then you said, call Roto-Rooter. And I said, okay, I'll call Roto-Rooter.
Okay.
So I call Roto-Rooter and they say, which they picked up right away,
back
which was really
up.
helpful.
When your main sewage line is blocked, you can't use any plumbing. You can't take a shower. You can't wash dishes. You can't flush the toilet. So, hence the urgency. So, yes, proceed.
Then I called Roto-Rooter and they were very helpful. And
You
then,
said come tomorrow morning. I was like, no, you come tonight.
the person said, they could be there between 9:45 and 1:45. And I said that to you, and you're like, what? 1:45? I guess I'll stay up. And so
Your impression of me is not correct. I mean, so not correct.
I was like, I'll stay up. I don't care. And then
Someone said,
They
promptly
live like-
goes up and gets in bed.
they live like 3 miles away. Okay. I mean, it was like 3 miles away, which was really
Oh,
convenient.
he was there in half an hour.
Yeah, because he was there in half an hour. I had a feeling that was probably going to be the case. And so, because they were located like right there or
Right.
whatever. And so then we hang up. That guy calls back. He comes in and he's Japanese, right? Was that it?
I think. I don't know. I have no idea.
And so he had this huge machine, right?
Well, back up. He and I went down and looked at the basement, and he said, "Oh, where's your main?" He goes, "It's best if it's outside." I was like, "Well, I don't have one outside, so I guess I know that's best practice, but don't have one. So
Yeah, because
how are we
this
gonna
house
fix
is-
this?"
50 years old now at this point.
So and to kind of give a further context, since the neighborhood is older, there's a lot of mature trees that have been in people's front yards. So it's common to have people have to have their main line basically
Right.
replaced.
And
in
so
their
then they
front
put
yard.
those out there.
Yeah, they put them out there. That's how
Right.
so they don't have to come in the house. So anyway, he kept looking and he kept going, "Oh, that's not good." I was like, "Are you trying to justify this ginormous fee you're going to charge me? Because you have to have seen this before."
Right.
So we flushed the toilet downstairs. It didn't back up, and we flushed the toilet over and Holden's side didn't. So the blockage was somewhere before that. So he said, "I can't go in here." So it's so funny because there's a clean out behind the bar or underneath the bar, and I said, I can cut a hole here. I've got an oscillating tool. I'll cut a hole in the side of the cabinet, just fix it at some, patch it with something later. He goes, oh, can't do it. The machine's like 300 pounds. His voice kept trailing off every time he'd say this stuff. And I
So
go,
then he like freaking
no, but I'm like, okay, what's the solution? I was
Right.
like, I'm not going to rip up the hole. There has to be a solution.
right.
And he goes, it'd be best if you put your clean out here, but you have to go through drywall. I was like, yeah, we're not doing that either. So he said, well, I can pull the toilet upstairs. I go, so you could snake it from the toilet? He goes, yeah. And he didn't quite understand that the toilet I kept flushing was on the second level. I was like, no, there's. So anyway, he goes upstairs and he pulls the toilet and brings this thing, and he goes.
I mean, that thing that piece of equipment was so heavy.
That was the smallest one he had.
Did he not let you help him? Because I felt
I don't
like
think so.
he was like, "Da-dum,
Well,
da-dum."
So I was having flashbacks when the dude came 10 years ago in 2010. And anyway, so he gets up there, pulls the toilet, snakes it, and he comes and he goes, it feels like it's going over here. Will you go check and make sure it's not going into the master bathroom? I was like, yeah. And it was obviously going down the wall. And it was like
Right.
100-foot snake, and he did it, and it was fine. I turned on the shower, and everything was fine.
Yeah.
So
kudos to him. He
$600
fixed it.
later.
He fixed it. But it was hilarious because you come in the bathroom and you were like, 'cause he was
God.
but yeah. So if anybody wants a house at 12329 Brookshire Parkway,
All right.
we'd be happy to sell. Yeah, there you go.
Harrison, this was 10 because they must have records. Because last time I called Roto-Rooter, he goes, "We haven't been here since 2010,
Right.
and that's when we were doing the basement."
Oh.
And this guy, we hadn't put the bar in yet, but
Yeah.
everything was roughed in, and that's where the clean out was. And the guy was down there, and it was so funny because he had to bring this huge machine back up the steps. The steps didn't have carpet, but he hurt his back. Every time he pulled, he was like, "Oh." Don't you remember that?
Yes, I
And I go,
do.
I'm like, I'll help you, bro. And he goes, you can't touch it. Insurance reasons. Like, all right, good.
Oh my gosh, that was so funny. And meanwhile, in your defense, I'm like, so we gotta call Roto-Rooter, but it's Harrison's birthday dinner tomorrow, and we need to get tenderloin, a carrot cake,
9 o'clock at
and-
night. 9 o'clock at night. I go, where are we going to get a tenderloin? Because we have
Oh.
a tenderloin down there
that's right.
frozen.
We had the tenderloin. I'm gonna have to trim the tenderloin. It's gonna take them 45 minutes in the morning to trim the tenderloin.
Well, the question was, do you thaw it? I mean, it was just a mess. Everything was just a mess.
I forgot about the whole trimming
Ugh.
fandango. The
So I was
tenderloin.
like, call Joe's and order. So Emily called and got a rather expensive tenderloin that was fantastic. Absolutely wonderful.
Yeah. So
the
pretty
mustard
funny.
sauce was great. So
There
it
you
was,
go.
so yeah, it
And
all
look,
worked out.
it all was fine.
Oh. What are you telling to put there?
Yeah,
Well,
that.
she didn't like that you moved the picture.
No,
No,
she-
it
she-
replaced it. He replaced it with a picture of his
Oh.
friends.
You know it's
So-
important,
He
right?
takes that
this-
picture,
so-
that really cute picture of him and Madeline, and that was on his nightstand.
this picture was on my nightstand, and I didn't think anything of it. I mean, I didn't.
I wouldn't think anything of it either.
I didn't replace it. You know, I just removed it essentially, and I needed somewhere to put that picture because it was on my lower part of my desk, and I put a retro console of mine there, and so she she found out, and she just
Yeah. Okay. It used to be though, right? On your nightstand. I was by the John G.
See, what you
It's all
could've
red
done-
face.
see, her point is that you moved the picture. You could have put the John G picture over there on that bench and left the picture of you and her there. So in theory, you moved it.
no, I
I
know.
thought I
It's-
taught you better than that.
It's
son.
so funny though. That's why I came in laughing so hard because I just thought it was hilarious.
Oh my gosh,
It is funny that I remember
that's
years
hilarious.
ago, and then we lived in South Bend. I had scheduled something. I'd scheduled like some Salvation volunteer thing. I go, yeah, I'm going to do it for Christmas on the 23rd. And you go, you can't do it on the 23rd. I go, why? Why can't I do it on the 23rd? And she goes, you can't do it on the 23rd. And after coming, I was like, oh, that's our anniversary. Got it. Sorry. Whew. Dodgeable on that one.
Oh gosh, that's too cute. Too cute. Too cute. Oh goodness.
That's great though. It's good that that's good. Those memories are cool.
That is pretty funny.
Real quick though, can I just tell you something? You have got to get a padlock for that door, bro. I'm telling you, little kids, that is, what do they call that? The legal principle, attractive nuisance or attractive something like water. Like you have to put fences around like bodies of water because the kid will be attracted to it, and you'll go and fall
And
into
then
it and
die.
die. And they're like, it's not our fault. It's like, you needed to. So be proactive and put a couple padlocks on that because that stuff will last about 2 seconds. A
Yeah.
toddler or a 5-year-old will go, this stuff is really cool. Whoops.
Whoopsie daisies.
Break.
Yeah, like on Sandlot where he takes the baseball. out
Baseball,
of, yeah,
right.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's cool that you have your own space there.
Let's not tell Madeline that I showed that video.
Okay.
She's gonna see it. I'm sure
She's not gonna know.
She'll know. She'll know.
Oh gosh.
So yeah,
So-
that's funny. That's so funny. What were you guys doing last night that was so funny? Oh, you're racing on the skateboards. Do you remember that? You were on the skateboard and Calvin was on his and Harris was riding the skateboard. It was like you were gonna biff so hard on the skateboard. Or you're trying to ollie. That's what you're trying to do. He goes, I can't ollie. I can't do it. Madeline's like, what is how do you do that? And Harrison's like, well, you put your foot back like this, and then I bring this foot up. It's like I told her, I was like, I can't do it. I could never learn how to do it.
Yeah, and then once you get big enough and weigh enough and can
Yeah, it's like
fall
all the kids
far
that
enough,
all
it
the kids
really
that I
hurts.
knew that could do it growing up were like 90 pounds and had pineapple haircuts and all kinds of stupid stuff. So
Not sure what a pineapple haircut is, but
where your hair is really long in the front and short in the back. And the dudes would walk around like that, keep the hair out of their eyes. Don't you remember that?
oh my god, that's hilarious. That's a pineapple, all right.
No, they would cut it, and some dudes would like cut it, and they would cut it at an angle, so it was like,
It was Justin Bieber.
oh, it's not Bieber. What is that? A rat?
That's a rat.
You know what's
Oh,
so funny is
God.
growing up, a bunch of dudes had rat tails, and I even as a kid, I was like, that is the ugliest thing ever.
That is creepy. Okay, well, we'll close out on that note.
On what? Rat tails?
That creepy picture of the rat's tail.
I looked that up. I couldn't find. So maybe it was. Madeline said, "What is that?" And I said, have you seen Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade?" And she said, "I think I have." And I said, "River Phoenix in the beginning of the movie. It's set in like the 30s or the 20s or something, but there's a scene where his hair was really long, like almost down to his chin in the front." And I said, "That's what those haircuts were. They were
Oh my
really
God.
long in front, and they, you know,
Very annoying, I'm sure.
yeah,
So that's
never
why
had
they
that.
walked around like this.
like that, so I could see out of one eye, like you do."
Oh gosh.
I never could
too
do my hair to
funny.
do that. Not that I ever wanted to, but it'd just be one big puff of fro up here.
Oh gosh.
So anyway, yeah.
Oh goodness. Okay. Do you have anything else before we close?
I don't think so. I think we're set.
Harrison, you're good. Okay, everybody. Well, we're here again most Mondays, late morning.
Yep.
And you can catch us out on any of the podcast channels.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, don't forget to check out the merch store, asvcmerch.com. I'm Emily King.
I'm Richie King.
And Harrison behind the ones and twos. And we will see you next Monday for another episode of Five Boys in a Business. Bye, everybody.
We're out.